What's about to happen next isn't gonna fill you with determination, Spider-Man.
Why are you making an Undertale?
The Undertale fandom has a huge presence within the online realm, and it's still going strong 8 years later. You can see its influences everywhere, whether you're looking for it or not.
Bad.
This game has impacted a lot of people, and despite it being released and over with since 2015, it still holds dear to many people's hearts and has shaped them into who they are today. So, to add more fuel to the flame, let's talk about how the Undertale community has effectively harnessed the digital medium to extend the narrative while also redefining the boundaries of storytelling in video games. It's 2015 and I'm a 12-year-old obsessed with Mario and his games, as well as Minecraft, but that's a different story. I mostly kept to myself as most Mario games were single player at the time and required friends to physically co-op with, so I didn't really interact with the franchise outside of playing it constantly on my living room TV. I developed a one-sided relationship with the Mario characters using games such as Mario 64 to roleplay within, but no matter how much I deluded myself into thinking that these characters knew me, their text boxes would stay the same through each playthrough, never changing nor giving me the relationship I so desperately desired. Skip to 2016 where I first hear of the new game Undertale. It was January, so I was a bit late to the party as it came out in September 2015. I was still obsessed with Mario and showed no signs of stopping, but I since figured out that I could play more games than just Spore and Civilization 5 on Steam. So I did what any 12-year-old would do and begged my dad to buy me Undertale, since I heard about it in passing and have a big fear of missing out. As you can see by me buying a bunch of classic and popular games at the time. My dad of course bought it for me, being the GigaChat gamer that he is, and got it set up on my little gaming laptop. I went in completely blind because I have a special ability that allows me to avoid any spoilers for anything I show interest in. I went through the normal introduction with Flowey, completely trusting him because I wasn't used to characters actively trying to deceive me, rather than just being labeled the bad guy since the beginning. With Toriel by my side, the rooms were without problem. I was too kind-hearted to click the fight button, because I can develop an attachment to something as inanimate as a piece of broccoli. If my mom said it would be sad if it wasn't allowed in the Eventually reached the door to exit the ruins, of course not without roleplaying my own little story within Toriel's house.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
I'm gonna hit the hay, so is there a bed in here or?
No, go in there. Hi, Steve. This is
Genderless child.
Genderless child. Genderless child. This is Steve, my boyfriend.
Pleasure.
Anyway, the room's down here. Bye. Oh, you're awake already, child?
I literally didn't sleep. I haven't seen you in about 3 seconds.
I baked you a pie, child. Eat it.
How did you even manage to cook that so fast?
Eat it.
Ugh! What is in this?
Snails.
Snail pie, you gotta be joking. Wait, where's Steve?
Oh, Steven, he left. Story time.
Child. Anyway, so
With Toriel blocking the way and no other path besides initiating an encounter with her, I did what I had learned to do with the rest of the monsters, which is to spare after some goofy interaction options. Okay, so that wasn't working. But being 12 and autistic, I didn't understand what I was meant to be doing since the only instructions I had been given in the event of a fight was to act and spare. Finally, comparing it to the other games I've played previously before, I came to the conclusion that maybe it was similar to Pokemon, where I would have to weaken her in order to get her trust. After all, the Frogget in the beginning did say that it was an option to weaken the opponent in order to get them to surrender, so I did the next best option, choosing to fight. I ended up killing her. It was an accident, surely. I didn't expect her to die and didn't realize how the fighting system worked. Much like her theme song Heartache, I was heartbroken. I sat in silence as she disintegrated into dust. Quickly, I went to reset the game so I could reverse my mistake, despite not understanding what I did wrong. So I looked it up, and as it turns out, a lot of people didn't get the memo and needed a whole tutorial to defeat Toriel without defeating Toriel. After following the video, what I was met with completely caught me off guard. Flowey, instead of saying what he first said when I booted the game, he straight up confronted me with what I had done. He broke the fourth wall just to taunt me, to illume the guilt in front of me with no way of escaping it. I was unnerved. I never had a game talk to me, the real me, as if it wasn't some game. It made me upset. I went searching for ways to truly reverse my crimes. I clicked the first video in the search bar and discovered that all these people are following the same path that I am. It relieved me, if only a little. It made me feel as if I wasn't the only fuck up and that this was part of the process. This is also the moment where I realized that, hey, there are other people playing this game too. After going through the game's files and resetting, I came back into the game with peak interest. It was showing me a new perspective on how games could be interacted with. Despite me actively changing the game's files to prevent the heavy guilt that came along with the new perspective, despite the hiccup, I continued through the game and finished it to completion.
Wanna see me speedrun? Go to the end.
To say I was changed was an understatement. Rather than having to carry the weight of role-playing by myself to feel as if I mattered, Undertale gave me choices and responded to me as if it wasn't just some script. Each dialogue option allowed me to speak to the characters as if I was having a conversation, allowing me to learn more about them and create relationships with them. If I were to mess with a character, they would respond accordingly and actually remember the actions I had taken, rather than having a text box stating that they were angry, only for them to not portray that in the next interaction. Each character had their own unique lives. They were more than just NPCs. They weren't some side character who gave useless dialogue in order to make a game's world seem more full. I had really begun to connect and to treat the characters as family, as if it were real. In short, the character's writing is really good, and thus the parasocial relationship has its grip on me, never to let go for 8 years.
Jesus Christ, parasocial! You need to log off! Jesus Christ!
I was a depressed loser looking for any emotional stimuli, and I found it within this game, being allowed to relate myself to characters such as Sans the Papyrus. Now, if you think Sans was ruined or wasn't written well, you have let the fandom control your feelings about the best character in Undertale, and need to shut the fuck up right now. I did not ask. Anyways, my feelings about the game were obviously not just exclusive to me. The impact Undertale had on the internet as a whole is undeniable. Disclaimer, this next bit of information has been summarized by this channel. Watch this video for a more in-depth explanation on the differences between reality and fiction. The concept of a reality has merged with Undertale, as it has challenged the boundaries of its own reality through its gameplay. The fictional reality insists that everything within it is real, while everything outside of it doesn't matter. But by including the idea that our world is a huge part of what makes up Undertale and how it changes, it has effectively merged the realities together by messing with our concept of suspension of disbelief. As you use your otherworldly powers to mess with what makes up the world, the player finds themselves no different from Flowey, to which the game even acknowledges. Rationally, you have removed yourself from the game's world because you can choose to stop caring, right? The thing is, you cannot remove yourself from its world, because even if you were to leave it alone and never play again, you are still a factor. You matter and have the ability to change it all, whether you were to restart and play again, to dig through the files for secrets, or to disappear entirely. When I realized it, it really hit hard. And the funny thing is, what I was doing to Undertale had started doing it to me. It was changing me for good, even without it being currently installed. It had effectively taken over my life, being swallowed within it. The amount of people sharing their similar connections with the game was astounding. The game carried real and emotional weight and spread to the masses. I realized this around 2015 when I went to my first Comic-Con dressed as Frisk, and found a bunch of Undertale cosplayers. I was ecstatic. I could not tell you how badly I wanted to be friends with them, to share art with them, to just talk to them in general. It wasn't a one-sided thing either. The fanbase was exploding with loners with the hope of friendship, attempting to convey their ideas and concepts to others around the world. The fandom quickly became a force to be reckoned with, dominating online spaces in an endless brigade of fan content. The reason I went on a whole rant about everyone's experiences, mostly mine, within the game is to convey that this game is extremely important to a lot of people. No one wanted it to end, and eventually you will see all there is to see, because Undertale is a short indie game developed by two people basically. All of this investment people had put into this game and its story had nowhere left to go. So the fandom's solution to this was fan content, and oh boy is there a lot. One of the first examples of impactful fan content is, what if the Asriel was able to be saved at the end? In comes Dreamer Reborn, a Tumblr comic made exploring this idea just 8 days after Undertale's release. It told the story of what the creator would think would happen if Frixid had offered to share their soul with Asriel, so that he can start anew above ground and finally experience what it is like to live. It was massively popular and basically told fans that if you wanted more, then you could make it yourself. And make it fans did. I haven't even gotten to the elephant in the room. Please welcome the one, the only, not really, Sans Undertale! I don't know what you guys are doing in your free time, but there's a huge possibility you've seen fan content for this little guy.
Pap, you've been in there for a while.
Sans, I've seen it.
Seen what?
The ships, Sans. The ships! Hey, Italian man! Huh?
What is going on here? Oh!
He's literally everywhere. If I look up meme compilation right now, there's like a high chance that I'll find something about him.
Oh my god. Guys, Sans is trying to call me. Sans?
He is the character people think of when you say the word AUs within the fandom, or if you just say Undertale in general. And when I say AUs, I mean alternate universes. There's literally like an infinite amount of AUs focused on just this one dude. It's mind-blowing. I mean, look at this list. And speaking of lists, look at this list I made of this one Sans-focused AU that has AUs of AUs. This guy's nickname for differential purposes is Dust. But there's so fucking many of them! Is that fucking female Dust? What the fuck? Is that Clown Dust? I can't write all of these!
I don't like how I know all of them.
Well, we better get to work, I guess. Oh my god! There's no way!
Oh, no, scroll up in the middle. What? Gay.
Gay!
Send that in memes, please. The title is I hope you get murdered by a fucking clown.
I made it sound as if this is the only guy who had AUs of AUs, but no, this is like for every AU. Guys, I haven't even talked about the whole ass animation of the multiverse called Underverse. Just look at this show. It's amazing. The animation, the story, the fan content of fan content of fan content just keeps going.
Look at this fight scene with my favorite character. Look at the voice acting for this shit.
Just die!
Those things were bombs?
Ah, there he is. Next time I'll make my payments beforehand. Psst. Who is this hobo?
Idiot.
What kind of name is that? And I'm 99,000. Good luck, yo. Whoa!
I remember you. What a good chance to kill the two that screwed me over. You son of a... Deja vu. Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself! Stop hitting yourself!
I haven't even mentioned like the good, really good comics that have voice acting and like movies in it, and like it's amazing. I would recommend either Horror Tale or Handplates. Handplates has a voiced movie of it. It's so good. It's just so good.
Anyways, you get the point. The fans went haywire with creating infinite possibilities for their favorite characters in order to just get more. It was like a never-ending rabbit hole of intricate stories all created by fans. It was so mesmerizing I began to surround myself with it. And I mean, the fandom did the exact same thing by surrounding the world. I mean, the literal Pope was played Megalovania and then given a copy of the game. And then, like, Kenny Omega had an Undertale entrance to his wrestling, like, event and had a Sans cosplayer. It's weird to think that without spaces online such as like Tumblr, YouTube, Steam, we would have never gotten any of this. My life would have taken a drastically different route as many if others would have. I feel like I would be a different person entirely. Without these online communities, would I have ever heard my favorite character? Like, Would I have ever had my worldview changed, which allowed me to keep going despite the crushing depression encompassing me? In a sense, these platforms saved me. It gave me something to look forward to explore, something that deeply interested me. Undertale has not only stood the test of time, but has continued to evolve, captivate, and reshape the lives of fans over the course of 8 years. The enduring impact of Undertale fandom on the digital media is a testament to the profound influence that something as simple as an indie game made by 2 dudes have had on individuals and online communities. This phenomenon has been only made possible through the utilization of digital media. Without the inspiration from others posting on things such as DeviantArt, I might have never thought of art as my career choice. Without things like Amino and Wattpad, allowing me to engage in collaborations and enter contests, I might have never met some people I know. These social platforms allowed for people like me to discover diverse ideas from others around the world, exposing me to things I never would have thought of through the use of fan content, and this sentiment is shared throughout the world. Millions of people may have never found their true passion without the internet, and I'm truly grateful for the freedom it has allowed me. I would have never played Undertale, nor would I have discovered my love for animation and storytelling. Truly, Undertale is a game I hold dear to my heart, because without it, I feel like I wouldn't be the person I am today. Also, Sansa's hot as fuck.